Hello again, everybody of the interwebs. Now, this is part 5 of the current state of my Bionicle comic collection. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling these out by threes, maybe, just because I noticed in the last video it's probably a very good comfort zone for getting these bagged or boarded and bagged, and also talking about a few of them there for us very quickly. Now, at this point, 2004, I'm starting to get a little older anyways. I'm like 9, or I guess I'm still 8, given the dates here on these comics. But, I'm beginning to learn to take better care of things. These comics aren't just toys anymore. They're something I probably want to continue to hold on to and make sure that they're well taken care of. So that way, I'm not having to have any ripped spine issues like with the Borak cow there for us. Now, I guess I'm going to go ahead and call this maybe like the Morbuzakh trilogy. Certainly not enough to be a saga there for us, but we are starting to get introduced to our new heroes. And to be frank, it's probably a very boring period, honestly. I get it. We're introducing these guys. Obviously, not really introducing. We've had them for a long time in the form of Taraga and things like that. Get Nuju back to where he was. But, they were. We were beginning to learn about a new history, a new timeline in the Bionicle lore and franchise there for us. And this is where it was all coming in. Now, I think maybe the biggest reason that it didn't really grab me as much these first three is the Morbuzakh plane itself. It's not a set. I'm still a kid. I mean, I can't get like a bunch of viney thingies all over the place and like whip them around my guys or anything like that. By that I mean my Toa Metru. In fact, let me go ahead and pull one out here very quickly. Since we got him on the cover art already, here is a Vakama with his shield thingy, or not a shield, Kanoka disc launcher. But yeah, these guys were pretty cool. I mean, I guess knee articulation was starting to become a standard. Same thing with the elbows and the like. Maybe not the best, shoulder. Knocked it out of him there. Shoulder movement there for us because it was all attached to like a gear and everything like that. Especially when you have this thing blocking your way if you have it mounted on the rear. But Vakama used to be a lot taller back in the day. I mean, it's the truth, right? You get a little shorter as you get older, things like that. But now we need to learn his and his friends' stories. And you thought Damata had issues with Unity and things. These guys, I guess at least in terms of the movie that came out, show that they were much worse off, coming into it. But they were Matoran as opposed to Toa Mata, who were always Toa and always had a destiny to fulfill. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these guys here now. These are some of the newer ones that I bought here. These are the finer condition ones that I'm going to go ahead and be bagging and storing here. First off, and these are the covers without any, well, I mean, there's still the glare that I'm dying to get rid of. But no worries, no worries. But let's go ahead and take a look at the issue number 16, Toa Metru, with an exclamation there for us. Now this particular copy that I purchased recently is actually very good. Same thing I get the benefits to for like the last issue 14, the Toa Light one, where the spine is just exquisite. Nothing really going on there. There's no creases on the bottom or on the top corners of it. I don't know that you guys can see the top corner very well, but if I hold it like this, you'll get a much better look at the top and see what I'm talking about. This is some good stuff. The front cover, a little bit more darker. It's setting a tone for a new area here for us. Obviously, there's a lot of corruption in Metru Nui. The darkness has already gotten itself a very good grasp of everything there. So, it's starting to let us know that we're still in for a ride. You thought those were the only Toa and everything, man, you got yourself wrong. And look, in the back cover art here, it looks like it is actually, advertising the coming of the Adventures books. I don't think my brother and I ever really got into the Adventures books that often. I think we got them from like the library or read through them and stuff like that. But the only ones we really had bought were these original ones, at least up to the first three. I think my brother had, and then I got myself. You know what? That's a tangent. Never mind. But let's go ahead and bag this one. So maybe keep the video a little bit shorter. But that is taken care of there for us. So we're going to get these newer guys bagged up first. Maybe I'll do the older ones off camera. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have there for us. And now we come into this particular set right here, the Morbuzakh plant, which is drawn very more into like the traditional styling of. It's having trouble focusing there a bit, but to the traditional styling of like most comics, it's different. It's organic, completely organic versus what we're usually seeing here in the BIONICLE franchise. Let's see if we have any good art that we can just quickly grab here. Well, I don't know if it's good art, but there's a page on the inside just so you guys could grab a grasp of everything there for us. Here we got Wanua, Nuju, and Nokama. Matau has a brief appearance there for us too. Looks like they got themselves caught in that crab, the giant Ussel crab or something of the sort. I remember that actually from the books, I think. Of course these guys too. But yeah, not a bad piece. I guess the back cover art, let me show you guys that too. Lunchables. Hey, not bad. I never really got Lunchables as a kid. My parents weren't really in on them. You guys making my parents sound boring every single time. But they're all right. I mean, they were just really small, the Lunchables. I was like, they were good. But, my brother and I, by the time of that, we were already eating like adults. We didn't get like fat or anything either, so I guess we were doing something right there. I don't know. Anyways, again, another tangent. I'm trying to avoid those going forward, just because this is supposed to be an inventory, not a life story, really. And now we come up with this one. Comic number 18, May 2004, Showdown. Now this is, I believe, they already have all the Kanoka disc, and they're getting ready to shoot down this route, which I believe is located in the Great Furnace there. I'm having trouble getting that. Man, I got to keep an eye on this to make sure I'm actually focusing on some of these things sometimes. But this isn't bad art at all. You finally get a good view of the enemy, whereas like the Morbuzakh plant was kind of like a unknown sort of enemy. It's in the shadows all the time. You never really got to see it face to face, and there still isn't any face to look at here in this particular cover art. You go into one of the sections here. We have a lot of orange, and I'm having trouble focusing again like that, but a lot of orange to look at, and man, the camera's doing very terrible now these days, but maybe there's just too much glare. Anyways, taking a look at the back art here, we start to see something here for us. This, of course, Devaki, which I'm not sure was a very fond thing for a lot of BIONICLE fans, but I actually really enjoyed Devaki. Not so much as like an enemy for our heroes here, in this case the Toa Metru, but because they just looked cool. They functioned very well too as a piece set. I really liked playing with them. The knee articulation was still there. There might have been some older things with like the kind of arms they were using on most of these sets with their staffs, but this was just a really cool thing. I really did like them. And if you liked them too, let me know. But I feel like they were a little bit more unpopular for whatever reason. Maybe I'm mistaken on that, though. Okay, in fact, I very well may be. Now, these are the original copies I have, those three that I just showed you. Those were the ones I recently bought. They were in very good condition, at least fine, or greater, I would say. By my standards, anyways. I'm not going to say so on others. But these are the original ones that I kept, that my brother brother and I had as copies, and these ones aren't bad either. In fact, you're going to start noticing that trend as we get into the more recent comics there for us, at least the ones that I was able to hold on to, that the quality of the spines, the quality of the overall work of the books and everything like that are doing very, very well. And I'm proud to say that even as a child, I was able to manage that kind of, good quality for these comics back then. Just so I don't have to do all of these in front of you, let me go ahead and do number 17 and bag on for it. Now, I think the ones I'm going to keep in are some of the worst quality ones, and again, they're probably my brother's copies. And I'm not just saying that to dog on my brother or anything like that. If he was here beside me, he'd totally agree. He'd be like, yeah, no, I mean, those things were for read, and I didn't really care about collecting or anything. And you see this one has a little bit more spine tear. I'm not sure if this was mine or my brother's, honestly. I think it was mine. Yeah, definitely mine, probably. And, you can see a little more on the edge, a little more creasage maybe on the cover. I'm trying to use this glare to work with me. But yeah, you can see it's actually still pretty smooth. Maybe this glare isn't bad if we're trying to assess like wear and tear on the comic there and everything. So not too different from the newer one, just that this one has obviously been stacked on. And that's why I brought it up earlier, is like, before I even started putting them in like polyurethane or anything like that, or just the Ziploc bags, I just kind of had them stacked on top of each other in an old plastic drawer of mine. And that obviously didn't do very good to the spines, because I think the weight of them just kind of caused this like weird bend to occur here. As you can see on this one too, maybe. I'm trying to show it. Yeah, it's like this natural bend that comes up, and this time I am using the glare to kind of help out with it this time. Yeah, probably wasn't the wisest way to store them, but when I start talking about some of these later comics, you begin to understand maybe why I was storing them that way. I mean, the short answer now is just because I didn't really have a choice of how I was trying to store these comic books. So, for now, I think I'll go ahead and get this one back there for us, and then maybe if we have time, I could bag these other ones. I'm trying to think of any other stories that happened during the whole Metru Nui era. Maybe the only other one I could think of is when during Vakama's Secret comic, I showed the new Batoran that were there in the middle, and I think I showed that for us. And I remember going up to who was my friend at the time. I think his name was Kalen, and I was like, "Yo, dude, check out these new Toa that that they're coming up with." Showing him the Batoran. He's like, "Dude, that's no way those are the new Toa." And he's like, "What are you talking about, man? It's definitely the new Toa." And he was trying to convince me otherwise, and for good reason. Wow, this is a good artwork here too. Maybe I'm glad that I'm opening or bagging these there. All the Toa Metru in the Great Temple. It's looking like City of Legends. We are getting somewhere. And a little bit of a reflection there for Vakama, who really has a visor in a lot of these comics. It's not like the set where it's like open-eyed like that, for example. And here's another good picture of all the mids here for us. Now, no more collecting masks, no more doing anything. We're collecting Kanoka discs. The city's in danger. We need to do something. We need to do something fast. That's kind of the mentality of these early Metru Nui comics. And I do a pretty good job displaying that. Like I said, I just think the plant idea, the full biologic, there wasn't really like a set of it. It didn't really grab my interest as much, but when the Baki start coming around, when the Dark Hunters start coming around, and everything like that, definitely it comes back to my interest. Now this is definitely my brother's copy. You can see it there on the edges of the spine. Now this one isn't terrible, because I think at this point, like whenever he read through them, I think we had a deal going on. Is like, yeah, I just want to read them, maybe once or twice, so I'm aware of the story, and then you could just hold on to them for us. And I think that's exactly what we were doing. He would just give me his copy as soon as he got his reading done. And yeah, I stored them to the best of our ability. And I was kind of like the library a bit, at least with the Bionicle comics. He'd just be like, hey, can I read a copy? And I was like, sure. And I always make sure to give him the worst copy. That I'm pretty sure. I guess we still have time to go ahead and bag this last one. Why not? I need to create more boarded bags here for us anyways. You guys are seeing all my weed stuff in the background too. Clearly, I was just born to be a nerd, right? That's something I should have brought up maybe in the first video. Just my mouse pad here. I have it facing you guys. It's normally not faced in that direction just for the sake of the video. But yeah, right up in there. Nice and easy. It definitely works well on this kind of material too, trying to slide around the comics without worrying about like causing them any damage. But I guess for now, the first three of Metru, ending here with Showdown when they're going to fight the Morbuzakh. I don't know if I have anything more to say about them. I did really enjoy the Toa Metru. They were really cool. I've always been more partial towards like the Team Wairuha, whatever. You know, the green, the blue, the white, always the coolest Toa for me. That's a trend that kind of continued going forward too. But yeah, got nothing else. You guys have a good one now. Do take care.